Can I just say before we get going that this is my favorite hoodie yet?
Are you talking about in general or the Steph one?
I think both. I just like it. I like the color.
But I thought
like
you
the
liked
way
the
it
Jordan
lays.
one.
I cut that out so nobody knows. I did like the dot of the eye with the basketball, but I mean, if I'm going to pick any hoodie to wear, it would be this one.
Yeah, after what he did to Clay. And just in case you're wondering, these hoodies go on sale on November 18th, which is a Monday. The pre-order window will start all week, or will be open all week. And then once it closes, that's pretty much it. The only way that you would get these after the fact is if we happen to have any leftovers, which sometimes is possible, sometimes it's not. So if you're interested in grabbing any of the Icon hoodies, make sure that you're doing one of these things, or all of them if possible. 1, follow the Instagram account simply @SenseApparel. 2, head over to senseapparel.com and sign up for the email newsletter because it will email blast once they are available for pre-order. Or 3, watch our videos daily so that you don't miss out, because I do announce this stuff and then I always get hit up afterwards and like, hey, I missed the hoodie. And be like, dude, I'm sorry, man. Like, we promoted it for like, I mean, I can only do so much. We appreciate everybody that has supported Sense Apparel so far. I think that the brand is super fun. It's just an extra way to get some extra creativity out while also being able to rep the things that we all love. Basketball, sneakers, nerd stuff, anything that you could think of. Now, with that being said, now, before I forget, my name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today, we got a detailed look and breakdown on what I would actually consider some bad boys, believe it or not. And this is the Air Max TL 2.5. It does come in a sportswear box, so that means that it's a Nike sportswear product, which means 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be some ass product, but not this time around. These guys, they're actually made right, at least from what I can tell from pictures, which is awesome. Now, before we deep dive into these bad boys right here, we do have a quick word from today's sponsor, and that's the good folks over at Outsole. Now, in case you've never heard of Outsole, they actually offer luxury bags in a wide variety of styles. So whether you're into crossbody bags, duffels, performance duffels, day pack style backpacks, or extra large backpacks for a little bit of a longer trip, they have got you covered. All of their stuff is also TSA approved. It fits in the overhead compartments and underneath the seat in front of you. And yes, I have tried this myself. They are the only bags that I use when I travel. If you're interested in trying out Outsole, there is a direct link down below in our description box. Don't forget to use the promo code that you see on the screen right here. It will save you a lot. Now, with that being said, like I was saying before, these guys right here are the Air Max TL 2.5s. It's a very interesting shoe, mostly because I think that most people don't know about them, including myself. I had to do a ton of research, and even then, there's not much known on the internet about this shoe right here, which means that I wouldn't even consider it a cult classic, even though I'm sure that Air Max fans, know about this and totally love it. But for people like myself, where I was mostly ingrained within the basketball side of footwear, this one right here just, way over my head. Like, and I don't even remember these releasing. And to be fair, they did release originally back in 2006. And we all know what happened then. Well, you guys don't, but me and you do. You're not gonna say it. Oh, you want me to say it? Somebody had a baby.
I did.
Yeah. Okay. That means that we were broke. No shoes were being bought.
I believe you threw out the possibility of you going shopping that day.
Did the Grape 5s
Yes.
release that day? They did. Basketball shoe. Okay, not this. All right, but yes, I did try to leave the hospital to go get the Grape 5s.
But instead, you threw your phone off the balcony and had to go and replace that.
I didn't throw it.
You drop kicked it.
I didn't do that either. I tried to put it in my pocket and I totally missed, and it just happened to fall off of a balcony and onto concrete. And the original Motorola Razr was not durable,
No,
despite it being made out of metal.
It was no Nokia. That thing would have hit the floor and jumped back up into your hand.
Probably. But anyways, during that time frame, like I said, I wasn't really buying a lot of shoes. Like, the stuff that I was really hyper-focused on is the stuff that I still love today, which is mostly Air Jordans and select basketball retro product. So an Air Max model like this, especially back then, just really wasn't in my forte. Obviously, I'm a little bit older now, so I do like the chunky stuff. Hey man, chunky things need love too.
Yeah, we do.
So when I see this, I actually don't scoff at it. I think, wow, I can't believe I missed these back in 2006. I think they actually look really cool. For those of you guys that don't know, the TL is supposed to stand for Total Air. I don't know why. It's like a weird way to shorten things, you know what I mean? But I guess when you think about the way that they put things on a box label where they usually remove the vowels, it makes sense in that sense. What does total air actually mean? That's a good question. I have not been able to find that on the internet. I'm assuming that there's just the total amount of air possible in these airbags, because it's different than tuned air, you know what I mean? Like, tuned air was a very specific thing where it had different sections within the air unit that were tuned slightly differently. This is not that. This is all one continuous bag. So yeah, total air. They didn't put this in the total max up tempos. That to me like is a total air. Maybe it was, I don't know. Either way, back in 2006, this was a performance runner, whereas nowadays, this is a performance runner. What the f happened? This is crazy. These are wild. Do you want a video on these? These are intense. But back in 2006, Nike was adamant that this would work. And I still think that they're comfortable, just not in the running sense. I think that lifestyle-wise, this is dope. Performance-wise, not today. Now, these did get reintroduced fairly recently, but not through Nike within itself, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is its first true inline release of the shoe. It is an original colorway on top of that. But the original retros of the product were actually brought back in true modern Nike fashion, where they feel like they've got to do a collab with somebody. And that just so happened to be, I hope I don't butcher this, I haven't said it in a while, Comme des Garçons or whatever. What is it?
I was practicing that in my head a couple weeks ago. That's funny.
So that's what it is. So was I in preparation for this. And I think I f***ed it up. They released in fairly muted colorways. I will say the white black one looks really clean, but they also muted out my favorite part of the shoe, which just so happens to be that giant total air unit. Why would you do that? Now the outsole right here is made up of plenty of lugs. This is interesting because it's one of those outsoles that actually does not call back to the original waffle sole from Nike, even though you kind of can consider it like waffle-esque, but it's not literal like peg squares, or should I say squared lugs. It does look like a rugged outsole. Like this shoe, at least in my opinion, maybe it's the colorway too, but it really screams like trail running and not like pavement running, you know what I'm saying? But it's just really interesting. Like this you would never see on a modern runner, at least not from Nike or really anybody. You notice the difference? Lots of rubber from heel to toe, damn near no rubber anywhere. Just a different way to reduce weight, and yes, the air unit does carry some weight to it, but the rubber really is the main contributor to like the overall weight of footwear product. Now the outsole does feature Nike's BRS rubber, which is just a little bit more durable than the standard stuff, and I really do love the callouts that are on the heel. And again, this was originally a performance runner, maybe not so much today, but I love that they kept the performance callbacks. Ride, comfort, and performance, plus the not so subtle NikeRunning.com. It's cool, I like that. Now moving on up, we do have a dual cushion setup. So we have the full length total air unit, if you will. And yes, it's not completely full length where it goes all the way to the tip of the toe, like an Air Max 360 unit. But either way, it is there. It's a fairly dense unit. I think that it's interesting the way that they've been described in certain product descriptions as bouncy. This is not the bouncy type of air. Zoom Air is. That's bouncy. That stuff's awesome. I would have loved to have seen this product, but updated with a full length Zoom setup, like what we saw in the KD6s, the Elites, as well as the Nike LeBron 10s, and select other Nike running models. However, I do know that those full-length Zoom units were unstable, especially in the lateral end where units like this are not. So in a performance sense, I get it. In a lifestyle approach, I think that it would have been cool to mix things up a little bit. Although if they had done that, it would not be a true retro. It would kind of be a protro, which I wouldn't be mad about. And then on top of that is full-length Phylon. So this is actually a lot more comfortable, believe it or not, than other previous full-length Air Max models like the Air Max 98 and the Air Max 97, where they still feature full-length air, but they're coupled with polyurethane midsoles, and they just feel like bricks. Like they are not comfortable shoes. Something like this, way more comfortable than that. But I will say that they're not super comfortable. So don't like look at this and be like, wow, that's gonna be like maximum comfort. It's not quite there. Foams actually do a better job than the air stuff does, at least nowadays. But I will say that you get a mix of moderate comfort with, I mean, a really cool visual. This looks dope. I still am very attracted to air units. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's like kid in me, but like I see it and I feel like I need that. The materials are very performance runner, so there's nothing really special about them. You've got a lot of synthetics and a lot of textiles, so you got basically mesh and synthetic overlays. They even come with a little sticker that simply states that the upper contains synthetic leather. So basically the base here that kind of takes inspiration from those past Nike Air Max models that I was just talking about, that's all synthetic leather. Everything else is textile, everything. And before I forget, they still did keep the reflective pieces right here at the toe, which is a running performance feature. You also have it right there on the strip on the tongue, as well as on the heel right there where it simply says Air Max. The insole is still a piece of shit, but it's a very interesting piece of shit because it's not just one type of foam, it's actually two, and they sandwich them together. So it's quite interesting, gives a lot of instant stepping comfort. Don't be fooled by that. You're still standing on something that's quite firm. So once you bottom out that insole, the overall comfort will be lackluster, but it's still cool nonetheless that they put that in there. I think that it's a very interesting touch, a little bit deceiving, but you know what I mean? Like as long as you're a savvy shopper and you know what's what, then you'll be like, oh, that's cute. Swap that out for anything else and you'll be good to go. Now, as far as the sizing is concerned, they do fit true to size. Whatever you typically wear, that is exactly what I would order. They will be available at most, if not all, Nike retailers. And if you're local here to the Sacramento area, make sure that you go over to Phenom. They're located in the Doco Shopping Center right across from Macy's. Or you can hit up their website, which we will link down below in the description box, or you can follow them on social, simply at Phenom Global. Now, with all of that out of the way, what is today's question of the day?
I pulled today's question / comment from the LeBron 22 video, just for context. Chris, have you ever thought about the cultural impact you've had on the sneaker reviewing community? For some context, I started watching your videos back in middle school, starting with your review of the LeBron 11, and from there, without even realizing it, you influenced what became a major passion of mine. Now I'm pursuing a master's degree in sports product. I'm certain there are many others you've impacted in similar ways, and I wanted you to know just how positive your influence has been for the community.
What was the overall question?
Just like, have you ever thought about the cultural impact?
Oh.
That's why I wanted to say this particular reviewer has been with the channel since the 11s, and they were commenting on the 22. So I mean,
right,
that's 11 years essentially.
How many years?
11.
You said 11 weird.
11?
You said like 11.
11.
Yeah. Well, first off, congratulations. That's really cool that you're pursuing that as your career. I hope or wish nothing but the best for you in that sense. You did make me feel a little old. So thanks for that. And I know that it's not on purpose. It's just what comes with the territory. The overall answer to the question is no, mostly because I don't ever give myself enough time to think about stuff like that because I'm constantly like working. And even then, that's not really the way that my mind works with stuff like this. Whether that's right or wrong, I don't know, but like I would feel that I'm like extremely arrogant to think that I'm an inspiration to anybody outside of like your own kids or something like that, where like they look up to their parent, but like not in the grand sense where like what I do, whether it influences you to purchase something, which is not the goal here. Like I don't want you to buy this. Like if you know what I'm saying? Like that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to teach you what this is if you were interested in buying this. And even when we're talking about like retro product and stuff like that's me reminiscing at the end of the day. And on top of that, doing the same thing, which is like teaching about what the product actually offers. And you know, these shoes are very expensive. And that's where I come from with stuff like this, is that I've always wanted this product on my feet, even when I couldn't afford it, or even when my parents couldn't afford it. And so that was like my main motivating factor to working really hard, was to, which sounds stupid, but like I guess you got to have a baseline somewhere. But I worked really hard as a kid to be able to afford a stupid logo to put on my feet. Again, it sounds really dumb when you think about it that way, but at least there was something there to push me to do better for myself. You know what I mean? So that way, I think that that's really cool, but I would never think that that's me, like doing that for somebody. You know what I mean? Like it even feels weird like hearing you say it or write it out and everything, because it just makes me feel funny. Like I don't know how to take it. All I could do is really say thank you for like spending your time with us, because that helps us out. You know what I mean? If I helped you out indirectly or on accident, then first off, saying like for me to say thank you to you for just letting me know, like I really appreciate that. And on top of that, it's mostly you. Like you're the one that did all the work. Even if I might have been like the small catalyst, it's the same thing as me being the kid that couldn't afford Nikes or Jordans. It's like whatever the catalyst was, it pushed me to work hard. And so that's all you, like that's all your work. I appreciate that you even give me a little bit of credit for that, so thank you.
I guess it's cool to think of how many different ways a small passion can take you, because I know we see some of it in the comment section, we see it when we go into shoe stores, we'll run into the people who are like, hey, thank you for like helping me make my job easier, like because they don't have, like when you reference Ekins and stuff, so they don't really have anybody who's teaching them what the products are about anymore, and you've just basically been the Cliff Notes version, these little 10-minute videos where you help break down the shoes so these shoe salespeople can like explain. So it's just cool thinking like it's not just being in the stores, like there's the people who are building the products. And I know that you've talked with designers and stuff, and so like there's the new up-and-comers, and it's like a fun, you never know, like you said, you never know what's gonna spark and which way it's gonna go. And
well, not just that, you never know who's watching.
Yeah.
You know, so like it could be the next great reviewer, it could be the next big hooper, it could be the next great designer, who knows, you know, could be a comic book guy, like a comic book artist. We have people like that watch the videos, and I'm always like, what the like, that's crazy, you know what I mean?
We have had some young fellas who have worked their way up into like college basketball and stuff. So like that's cool too. I guess it's just one of those things where like, hey, we're just out here doing our day-to-day 9 to 5. You don't really like sit back and be like, what's it doing once it's out there.
Because I think that would stop me from doing it. Like if I actually thought about this for a second, I'd be like, what the f are you doing? You know what I mean? But like for some reason I just run with it. You know what I mean? And so like that's the part where I'm like, oh man. Something like this always brings me back to like what pushed you to make that first video. And it's like, man, I don't know. That was so dumb. Like, you know what I mean? Like I can't believe that I did that. And then, like I was like, yeah, that's good. Upload.
It was a very different time in our life.
Yeah, you know, like I said, I don't try to think about things in any way like that because I don't feel like I am important in those ways to anyone outside of like our small circle. So yeah, so it's like it's awkward for me, or I'm awkward when I hear it because like it's like, oh, how do I respond? You know what I mean? Like, do I be like Han Solo and be like, I know? Or, you know what I mean? Do I just be like, thanks, bye? You know what I'm saying? Or like, do I sit down and have a conversation with you because...
No, you pull a Sally Field and you go, you like me. You really like me.
Well, sometimes it's all of it.
Yeah.
Like it depends on who's approaching because sometimes I end up becoming friends with them. So it's just really weird the way that the universe works. It's explainable, but not explainable at the same time. It's like the weirdest thing ever. Dude. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching and thank you so much for everything. I really appreciate that you guys chose to spend your time with us, especially if you're still here because I don't know how long this ended up being, but I could tell you how long we recorded. Over 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you so much for everything. I greatly appreciate it. We will catch you guys on the next one. If you wanted to leave your thoughts on these down below in the comment section, that would be awesome. Let me know if you remember these because I sure don't. I do think that they're really cool though, so I'm excited for future colorways. What about you? Again, that's pretty much it. So I will catch you guys later. So I'll see you all in the next one. I'm not doing my outro right. I'm like flustered right now. So
peace.
Yeah, I will catch you guys later. Y'all have a good one.